Tears often get a bad reputation. As parents, it's easy to grow weary of the sound of constant crying, especially when it feels inexplicable or endless. But what if those tears carried a deeper meaning? What if your child's seemingly excessive crying was not a sign of weakness or frustration, but a reflection of something far more profound? In this journey, we'll explore 4 signs that your child's tears may be a mark of their unique purpose and potential. Each tear might hold a whisper of divine connection, a warning, or even a glimpse of their extraordinary emotional depth. Together, we'll unpack how these signs can reveal the greatness God has placed in your child. Stay with us as we uncover the spiritual, emotional, and even biblical truths behind their cries. By the end, you'll see their tears in a whole new light, and we invite you to share your own experiences in the comments below. Let's create a space where we celebrate and uplift the unique qualities of our children. 1. A cry of divine connection and prayer. Have you ever considered that your child's tears might be more than just a release of emotion? What if their cries are an earnest, heartfelt prayer to God? Children often connect with the divine in ways we adults might overlook. Their innocence and purity make them more attuned to the spiritual world, and their tears could be a form of communication with the Lord. In Romans 8:26, Paul writes, "The Spirit himself intercedes for us through wordless groans." Just as adults sometimes lack the words to pray but pour their hearts out to God, a child's tears may carry unspoken prayers. Their cries might be an expression of a spiritual burden or a way to seek God's presence. Think of the story of young Samuel in the Bible. In 1 Samuel 3, Samuel hears God's voice as a child and responds, though he doesn't fully understand it at first. Similarly, your child's cries might be their way of responding to spiritual nudges they cannot yet articulate. When your child cries, resist the urge to dismiss it as mere frustration. Instead, pray alongside them. Whisper words of encouragement, asking God to reveal His purpose for their emotions. Have you ever felt like your child's cries carried a deeper spiritual meaning? Share your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear your perspective. 2. A warning from the unseen. There's something unsettling about a child crying out of the blue, especially when there's no apparent reason. What if, in those moments, they're sensing something we cannot? A child's spiritual sensitivity may make them more aware of unseen forces, both good and bad. Their cries could be a warning about an unseen danger or a call for divine protection. This idea resonates with Ephesians 6:12, which says, "For our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms." Children, in their innocence, may perceive these struggles more keenly than adults, prompting their cries as a form of spiritual alarm. Stories abound of children crying moments before something significant happens, whether it's a family member falling ill, an accident being narrowly avoided, or a sudden change in circumstances. These moments remind us to pay attention to their emotions and ask for God's guidance in understanding them. When your child cries seemingly without reason, pause. Pray over them in your household. Ask for discernment and protection. Their tears may be a divine nudge to intercede in prayer. Have you ever experienced a moment when your child cried and it felt like a warning? Let us know your story in the comments. It could inspire others to look more deeply into their child's emotions. 3. An unparalleled emotional depth. Children who cry often are sometimes labeled as sensitive or emotional. But what if we reframed that perspective? A child who feels deeply and cries often is not weak. They are emotionally rich. They possess an unparalleled capacity for empathy, understanding, and connection. Jesus himself wept openly, as we see in John 11:35, the shortest yet one of the most profound verses. Jesus wept. His tears were not a sign of weakness, but of immense compassion and love. Similarly, a child who cries frequently might be demonstrating a depth of feeling that is a gift, not a flaw. Research in developmental psychology reveals that emotionally expressive children are more likely to develop strong interpersonal skills as they grow. Their ability to feel deeply equips them for roles that require compassion and understanding, qualities that are often foundational to greatness. Consider historical figures like Mother Teresa, whose empathy and compassion drove her to transform countless lives. What if those traits began with an emotional depth nurtured in childhood? Your child's tears could be the early signs of a heart destined to change the world. Celebrate your child's emotional sensitivity. Teach them to channel their emotions into kindness and understanding. Their tears are not a burden, they're a gift waiting to bloom. Does your child's emotional depth surprise or inspire you? Share a moment when their tears revealed their heart, and let's uplift one another with stories of compassion. 4. A seed of greatness in the making. Finally, the tears of a child may be the early signs of a destiny far greater than we can imagine. History is full of individuals who were misunderstood in their early years, only to rise to greatness later. Your child's crying may reflect an extraordinary inner world, a seed of creativity, vision, or leadership that is just beginning to grow. In Jeremiah 1:5, God says, "Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart." The same holds true for your child. Their tears may be part of the unique purpose God has woven into their being, a purpose that will unfold in time. Think of Albert Einstein, who was considered different and even labeled as slow in his early years. His deep emotions and unique perspective led to groundbreaking discoveries. What if his early frustrations were the precursor to his unparalleled genius? Encourage your child to explore their feelings and express themselves. Help them understand that their tears are not a weakness, but a sign of their inner strength and sensitivity. What dreams do you have for your child's future? How do you see their unique qualities shaping who they'll become? Share your thoughts. We'd love to hear your hopes and prayers. Tears are not just a release, they are a language. Whether your child's crying reflects prayer, warning, emotional depth, or the stirrings of greatness, each tear carries a deeper message. As parents, our role is not to stop the crying, but to listen, nurture, and seek God's wisdom in understanding it. Tears are a gift, even when they test our patience. They speak a language that goes beyond words, revealing a child's connection to the spiritual, emotional, and unseen realms. As we've explored, your child's tears may be a heartfelt prayer to God, a warning of something unseen, an expression of profound emotional depth, a seed of greatness waiting to bloom. As parents, the challenge is to embrace these moments instead of rushing to silence them. Your child's tears might feel like an interruption or inconvenience, but they are also a reminder of the divine fingerprints on their life. God has created them with purpose, and their sensitivity is part of that plan. Here's how you can embrace and nurture this gift. Listen more, react less. Instead of rushing to stop the crying, try asking questions. What are they feeling? What do they need? Their answers might surprise you. So pray over their tears. Each time your child cries, take a moment to pray. Ask God for wisdom to understand the deeper message behind their tears. Teach them to channel emotions. Help your child express their feelings through art, music, storytelling, or other creative outlets. These are powerful ways to turn tears into triumph. Celebrate their uniqueness. Remind your child that their sensitivity is a strength, not a weakness. Let them know they are wonderfully made and deeply loved. Just as Psalm 139:14 declares, we want to hear from you. Have you ever noticed a deeper meaning behind your child's tears? Do you see their crying as a sign of something special or unique? What's one way you've supported your child during an emotional moment? Share your stories in the comments below. Let's create a community of parents who encourage and uplift one another. Your experiences might inspire someone else to see their child's tears in a whole new way. Parenting a child who cries a lot can feel overwhelming, but remember this: their tears are not just noise or inconvenience. They are a gift, a reflection of their sensitivity, spirituality, and unique connection to the world around them. In time, those tears may become the foundation of a future filled with empathy, leadership, and greatness. If this message resonated with you, don't keep it to yourself. Like, share, and subscribe to our channel to help spread the word to parents who need encouragement. Together, let's celebrate the beauty of parenting and the unique children God has entrusted to us. Until next time, may you find patience, wisdom, and joy in every tearful moment. You're doing sacred work, and your child is truly one of a kind.